what's up, fam? Everybody's in their own current chapter. The goal, the mission, the beasted up part is when you start working on becoming the version of you that you would respect and admire. That means your ass is on purpose now. Now you're living on purpose. Now you're not just like getting blown by the wind and like things don't go your way, you're crying, bitching, and complaining. Things do go your way, you have a moment of happiness. It's like that's not the way it works. But the moment you say, nah, I know there's more. I know there's better. I know I could be better. Where you're fed up of losing, you're fed up in being a loser, you're fed up in the way you look, the way you feel, your attitude, you know that this is just not right. That's not the way it's supposed to be. That means your time has come to where you need to get into the next level where you start developing, you start becoming better. The moment you start becoming better, you start sharing, you start helping others become better because you're in a current chapter. And that chapter will have, whatever chapter you're in, will have relatability to somebody else. The chapter I'm in right now is attractive to a certain person, a certain type of person that just did this is relatable to them. Which is why it's important that everybody, once you start self-developing, when you start working on yourself, once you start living on purpose, you gotta start sharing. You have to start sharing. Because it's where you're at. And where you're at is super valuable to someone else that needs to hear your words, your story, your message, where you're at right now. It could be, I started this morning and I already feel different. I heard this video yesterday. I started it this morning. I started with gratitude, did my push-ups, started eating less, did push-ups in the afternoon, did push-ups at night, all to raise my attitude. It works, bro. That could be the video that someone needs to, that video will fall onto the right eyes at the right time. And it's going to be someone that fucks with you, that's going to like, hey, that's the homie right there. I like how this guy talks. I like how this guy sounds. I like the shirt. I like how he dresses. It's the background. They find relatability. That's why it's so important. Because the people that I find relatability to them. I've shown people that I watch, my mentors, and it's like, what? You know, I show them to other people, and they're like, oh, that's funny, or oh, that's silly, or wow, like they don't find any relatability. Something about them, to me, makes it attractive. That I want to watch it, that I want to listen, that especially because it starts working. So whatever chapter you're on, that's the chapter that you're on. It could be, you know, you go down the rabbit hole and you start watching people like, okay, well, this person's, you know, going to the gym, this person's jacked, this person's got abs just protruding, is that how you say it? It just, he got, you know, badass cars, a big old following. That's where he's at. And you gotta understand that wherever he's at, that's where he's at. You gotta let him be there. The process, his chapter, that's where he's at. Now he may be already at a point where he's, you know, like I said, going to the gym. You may not be at the part where you're going to the gym. He has a meal prep company that sends his meals dialed in exactly to whatever chapter, whatever program he's in at the time, whatever type of food intake he's on, and that shit comes refrigerated boxes to his door. And shoot, some other people may even have a chef that cooks for them, comes in once a week, cooks for them, makes sure his meals are on point. So dang, this guy has a gym at home. He goes to the gym, has 2-3 people that he consults about like how his lifting is, guiding him, training him. He has a cook. That's his chapter. You can't like, oh, I gotta get that. Like, no, you don't. What you gotta do is, you're already doing what you gotta do. You're answering the call of your conscience. Your conscience got loud enough. You're at a state now where you matured and you're ready, and you got enough courage to say, fuck it, I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start doing the big 3: exercising, dieting, and getting up early, or minimizing my sleep. You start doing it. You elevate your attitude. You get aligned with your conscience. You connect into the stream of consciousness. You start understanding. You start hearing this guiding voice that tells you what step you need to take next. The step lights up. You take it. You see that this is it. This is where the answer is. This is what's going to get you to continuously become better and better, you're on purpose, that's where you're going to hear where your next chapter is leading to, where your next step is going to lead you to that next chapter. Like I said, for me, it started 1 spoonful less of each item on your plate. Perfect. And I would hear all kinds of stuff about macros, and you got to track your macros, and that's where it's at, that's where it's at. I was like, I don't understand how to do that. I looked at it, I was like, grams? Grams of do I just drink protein all day? What is it? How many grams? I don't know. What? 250 calories, get this, get that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, my conscience said, don't even trip on that right now. Take the step. Look at it. The step is lighting up. That little step in front of you that lit up, step there. That step says 1 spoonful less of each item on your plate. Fuck it. I listened. Did that for, I don't know, I think maybe 4 to 6 weeks. Then I got the idea. No, it wasn't an idea. Then my conscience told me. Just whatever fits in one plate. Okay. So do I still, no more spoonfuls away. Just right there. Okay. That one didn't last very long, maybe 7 to 10 days. And then I was at Home Goods with my wife, and then my conscience said, buy those plates, buy 3 of those little plates. And you're gonna be putting each item that you want on each plate, so you don't have to mix them anymore. I was like, oh, perfect. Yeah, I didn't like mixing them. It was getting kind of gross. But I was cool with it, because I was getting results already. Day 1, making progress. Day 1, I saw results. I was like, oh, it's on now. I'm going with this. I'm riding this till the wheels fall off. It's fucking on. I'm getting results. Something that I felt stuck all my life. And instantly in one day, I feel unstuck. Shit, you ain't gonna stop me. Nothing is. So I was like, hey, can I get 2 of these bowls? Yeah, what do you need them for? It's like, oh, it's because I'm gonna be eating, sectioning off my food. That triggered her curiosity. That's a good idea. Let's get 10. Picked them out, real pretty ones. We still have them. That went for a while. Then I was like, hey, sitting in this truck right here. We're driving. I don't remember. I wish I knew. We're on the freeway from a little. I don't know where we're going, but we're on the freeway for a minute. I was like, hey, have you heard of macros? Quick answer, yeah. Do you know how they work? Because it's really confusing to me. I don't get it, and I want to get it. It seems like that's where it's at, but I don't understand how it works or what the deal is. And my conscience, I skipped that part. My conscience told me, ask your wife about macros. I even thought, for real? I mean, if she knew, she would have been doing it. But okay, I'll ask. Hey, honey, have you heard about macros? And she's just like, oh yeah, I've been meaning. They gave me the chills right now. I've been meaning to look into it. Yeah. Why? Do you get it? I was like, no. Do you know about it? You know how it works? I go, you know what? I'm asking you because I've tried to watch some videos and it's hella confusing. I don't get it. I don't know what they mean. How do you measure it? How do you know how much is in each portion? Yeah, they say 30 grams, but what am I measuring? The weight or the amount of protein, of nutrition in grams? I was just confused. And she just whipped out her phone. She's like, hold on, let me watch a few videos. Like, bam, 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 bam. Still on the I forgot. I was focusing on driving, giving her space. A little while later, she's like, oh, this makes total sense. Yeah, it's easy. Hold on. She's like, okay, I ordered you a scale. It should be there by the time we get home, maybe, if not by tomorrow morning. And yeah, it goes like this. Pretty much, you get your 3 basic food groups, and then you plug it into the app. You have the app? It's like, oh yeah, I've been using the app. I use it for something. I use it a different way. Well, whatever. I was like, oh, dang, clear as day. Why? Because I listened to my conscience. So whatever step you're at, don't trip. Somebody else may be on another step. Somebody may be eating a certain way. Somebody may be, dropping certain things that Like maybe somebody else is like, you know, talking about, man, I got rid of all my old cars and I bought me, you know, 2 brand new cars, whatever. Yeah, that doesn't mean you need to do that right now. You got a reliable car that works and your conscience is saying, take care of it, give it its maintenance, keep it clean AF, wash it, make sure it smells good, make sure it looks good, love it, be proud of it. That's what you do, because that's what your conscience is telling you to. That's the chapter that you're on. If that person's but you look at the other guy, and the other guy's like, no, but he also has that same mindset. He's also on purpose. He's about it. He's about tracking his food, doing the big 3, exercise, diet, wake up time, and he hates on people who drive old cars. I'm just using this as an example. See, he's talking that way. He's addressing that way. He's talking to the old himself. Maybe he had a thing of not wanting to get rid of his old cars. He was able to buy something nicer, but he didn't because he was afraid. So now he looks back and he's talking at his old self. So someone who's ready to take that step, they got a fat bag in the bag. They're able to buy it. They're able to do it. They have the means to it, but they don't do it because they're scared. That message is for them. It'll click. It won't have any doubt. You're like, fuck, this fool's right. I gotta stop fucking around with these old cars. Just give me a new one. It'll resonate and it'll be 100% perfect, 100% made for that person. If you hear it and you're like, dang, I should do that, but your conscience is saying, no, don't. But your Mr. Know-It-All is saying, yeah, do it, and it's confusing you. I don't know what to do. Should I? If you have to ask, that's Mr. Know-It-All questioning your conscience. So what you do there is just like, no, realize that, hey, they're on their chapter, I'm on mine. If your chapter, like I said, says, no, just make sure you keep it nice and like 1,000% clean. Get it detailed. You could afford a detailer, or find out how much a detailer is. Someone that you can, that you could budget for, and it's going to hit, and it's going to keep it nice, restore it nice and clean. Get it nice and smelling good. Like I said, looking good. Buy a little accessory for it. I don't know. It may be, I don't know. I'm just giving you an example. It's not what the other guy's saying, because he's talking to a different chapter. He's talking to a different group of people. Now, if that's you, that rings, and you got the means and you're able to do it, and you're just trying to fight it because you're a tight cheeks and you don't want to put the money in flow, then you're questioning your conscience. Mr. Know-It-All is telling you, hey, we need to buy that car. We need to get rid of these and buy those 2 and fucking make sure that it's the one we want with all the accessories we want. Quit fucking around. We could do it. But either or, they're both in their own chapter. You got to understand that what you really need to listen to is your conscience. Your conscience will tell you what chapter we need to be on. It'll guide you that next step. It's not telling you your next 15, 32 steps. It's telling you your next step. And your Mr. Know-It-All, which is your ego, I think, I'm starting to come to the conclusion that's what it is. It's telling you your next step. That's all you need to know. The next step. You don't need to worry about the 10, 15, 30th step. What makes you think, what makes you so sure that you're going to be alive for those steps? You just need to know what next step to take, so you're not standing still and you move on to the next one. What's the next step? Conscious, do this. Okay. What's the next step? Stand by. I'll let you know. In the meantime, just keep your attitude high and stay connected to the flow of consciousness. Stay in flow. Okay. And you just wait. And you look around and it'll just hit you. Clean the front. Start painting your fence. Get your front door looking fire. Clean the little corners in your garden. Get it sharp on all 4 corners. Oh, dang, okay. Touch up your numbers in the front of your pad. I don't know, I'm just telling you. This could be nothing to do now with cars. I'm saying it's just your chapter. Whatever chapter you're on, it's the chapter you're on, and all you need to be looking for, listening for, is that next step that you need to take. Because the only moment that matters is right now, and the one right next to it. Because you'll get instructions on what to do for that next step. So just focus on keeping your attitude high, staying connected, staying in flow state, staying at a high vibration where you're connected to the stream of consciousness, to the flow of consciousness. So you're listening to the voice of your conscience, you're paying attention to it, so you know what step to take. Don't trip on other people's steps. They may be on another step, and you can get inspired by that. Be like, that's dope, I'm glad he's there. Because you'll also look back and see at people that you're already be tracking your macros. You're already like thinking like, okay, let's see if I could get this like ab veins to come out. There's 2 veins that go like this that I didn't even know. I just recently saw them, and I was like, oh shit, I want those. And it's just a matter of time before I get them. You could already be at that step where you're figuring out, okay, let me cut my calories a little bit more. I'm gonna make sure the lower abs are being tight. Let's see what I could do to make sure to get the pump there. And you look back and you see the dude going like, hey, I'm at that step where I'm taking 1 spoonful out of each item on my plate. Are you gonna go do that? Shit, I need to start taking 1 spoonful. No, because you're already at the chapter where you're tracking your food. You know exactly your macros. You know exactly what you should be consuming in protein, carbs, and fats. And you know how to manipulate them and adjust them because you've already put in the time and you're learning and you're just following the steps that need to be taken there. So just the same, don't worry about the steps that are way ahead of you. Don't worry about the steps that are behind you. You worry about whatever chapter you're on and that next step you need to take. All right, guys, talk to you later.